Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, welcome to the fun. In today's video, we are diving into something we have all experienced at some point. Thanksgiving gone completely wrong.
But you have to know exactly behind that set, behind the people, behind what they do. You don't live here like, okay, I have to drive, I have to do this for my family. No, everybody can say that.
Because I'm afraid to say one thing to you. I say one thing wrong, I get upset. Okay? That's it.
Okay, so I came home for Thanksgiving because I was like, you know what? It's still Thanksgiving. I don't care what's going on with my family. I need to be there. So this morning I had DoorDash some last minute ingredients for our Thanksgiving dinner, and my DoorDasher had texted to please tip because she's helping to pay for her daughter's school fee. And in my mind, like, no mom should be out here driving around the city on Thanksgiving and not be with her own family. So whenever she came to drop off the things, I met up with her in person and I asked her how much it was, and she said $300, and I paid $300. That way she could go home after getting all her orders done. She can go home for Thanksgiving and be with her family. We had a really heartfelt moment outside, and then I came back in. I felt really great. I felt really amazing about what I had done because she needed that money a lot more than I did. I told my dad and he said, no, it's a scam. I couldn't even say anything. I just felt defeated. Like, I felt really great for probably 2 seconds until I just felt extremely shitty about everything. And then my mom came outside and tried to, like, understand what was going on. So at this point, I just feel really heartbroken. I feel really numb. What I thought was a really amazing gesture, and a gesture that I felt God was really calling upon me to do, it became extremely devalued after my dad had said his little comment. So my parents and I are going back and forth at it, and my dad says one thing that just completely tells me I need to get the fuck out of the house. And he says something along the lines of, we have spent all of these Thanksgivings catered to, like, me and my brother basically, and this is what we get. I thought we were going in the right direction. So at this point, I'm, like, aware of what's going on, and I just need to get out of the house. I just need to go. I can't spend Thanksgiving with them. And my mom is just trying to fight with me because I know she doesn't want me to go, and she's just trying to talk with me, but she's talking at me instead of talking with me. And because I'm trying to just walk away from the conversation because I kept telling her, stop, I'm done, I'm numb, I don't want to have this conversation because y'all aren't listening, she just keeps going and going and going and going and going, and I'm just like, stop. So I packed up everything, and now I'm in my car. I don't really know what to do. I don't know if I should just go back home to Baton Rouge and drive an hour and a half away, or I don't know. And then me trying to walk away and disengage because I just don't want to fight with my mom anymore. Me doing that was telling her that I'm just trying to walk away from the conversation because she didn't say something that I liked. And that wasn't the point. The point was that I didn't want to fight anymore. I didn't want to hear it anymore. And I was just so numb. And I was just so heartbroken. Why would I want to continue a conversation whenever I know that nobody's listening? Nobody hears me. Everything that I did was completely devalued. So I'm trying to just focus and hone in more on the beautiful thing that I did for that mom and her family. And I hope that they're having a much better Thanksgiving than I am. I am exactly where I'm needing to be at this very moment in time. Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason. I did a good thing. I did a good thing on Thanksgiving. I did a really good thing for somebody else's family. And that's all that matters.
Boom, it's Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. But I got a story to tell you, okay? Remember when I told y'all that my Auntie Betty called me talking about I couldn't come to the Thanksgiving dinner if I talked about Trump, right? So my niece come calling me asking me, Auntie, why you not here? I said, Auntie Betty didn't want me to come to the dinner if I talked about Trump. So that's why I ain't there. Mind you, the pajamas. She said, everybody over here talking about you and I didn't understand what was going on. I told Auntie Betty to kiss my ass. I ain't coming. And she tells me that you can't come to her house or any other family house for Christmas. I said, good. I can keep all my damn money in my pocket. I don't got to buy nobody shit. And Auntie Betty, those earrings that you got me last year, the diamonds wasn't real. I checked them, okay? They was fake. You could have kept that shit. Told my niece Tell Auntie Betty she can keep her nasty ass macaroni and cheese and her husband uncooked turkey. Still got blood coming out of it. Nasty. And her mushy ass sweet potato pie. The crust don't even be done. Tell her to clean up her nasty ass house before she have guests over there, okay? I said it. Nasty. With your non-cooking ass, okay? Can't cook worth nothing. Can't cook. My taco meat tastes better than your dressing. Tastes better than your cranberry sauce. Tastes better than your greens. My taco meat even tastes better than your nasty ass water that you be serving out your faucet, okay? Get that shit fixed. Get a filter, okay? I told my niece to relay a message for me. Tell him to kiss my ass and to go to hell. And leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
Well, you know what I'm thankful for? Nursing homes.
You know what you should be thankful for? Breath mints. You could use one.
Oh, okay. I tried the casserole, by the way. It was bland.
You know what else is bland? Your personality.
Tell me, how are your kidneys? Still failing?
You do not need to spend Thanksgiving with your MAGA relatives. You can, in fact, opt out. Here's the lowdown. I live with my mother. We have a great relationship. We are both very anti-schmump. And I had asked, can you please not invite your brother this year and his wife to Thanksgiving? Every year, it's an issue. They show up. They don't contribute. My mom complains. It's a whole thing. But the key point here this year, though, is that they are gold star schmumpty dumpties. So I don't want to be around them. So I asked. But ultimately, my grandmother wants them there. It's her son. And my mom is going to listen to what her mother wants and respect that because she's in her 80s. And I'm like, fair. You're hosting. You're doing the work. You get to decide who you want to invite. I, however, can choose to just not be there. So this year, I was telling my besties in the chat that I was going to take my kids and I up and away to Universal Studios Hollywood because we have annual passes and it's open that day for us to go. Let's just go do our own fun thing. And then my bestie was like, hey, I actually need someone to adopt me and my 3-year-old son this year for Thanksgiving. Her husband is working. She is a nurse. She's normally working. And I was like, you know what? How about we do our own chaotic kids Thanksgiving at your place? I'll come over. We'll make some pizza. We'll make some dino nuggets. We'll have a time of it. We'll drink some wine. And she was like, I am so down. So this year, I'm doing my own fun Thanksgiving. And it's going to be great. So just know you can just not go. You can just say no. You can just stay home by yourself if you need to. Get your favorite food. Put on your favorite movie and have a time. Protect your peace. You do not need to.
Let's go around and let's talk about what we're thankful for. On this special Thanksgiving, I'd like for everybody to take a moment and just reflect on things that we're thankful for. And I thank you first of all for our family and friends, but most important for Donald J. Trump, who's going to get this country back on track.
All right.
Yo, I don't know who this is for, but if your family starts fighting on Thanksgiving, go live and post that shit. Let us all see the chaos. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just walked out the entire Thanksgiving dinner because I am not a fake bitch. I will never be fake. So when some fake shit is happening, the only thing to do is to walk the fuck out. So yeah. So now I gotta find some new plans. What y'all got going on, y'all? Let me know the fucking plans. Let me know the fucking plans, y'all. Because I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with that. Are you crazy? Are you fucking crazy? You could have told me who was coming. I asked you. And you like, nobody's coming. It's just going to be me and the kids. Huh? Well, this don't look like just me and the motherfucking kids. And I'm out. Calling me. Talking about, I told you. I know the fuck you didn't. The same way you didn't tell me last time. Same way you didn't tell me last time. And shit, people just pulling up that I didn't know was going to be there. No. I will politely excuse my motherfucking self. So y'all, I want to give you guys an update after the video that I just posted a little while ago. What was that, like 2 hours ago or something like that? I want to give you guys an update. I am home and I am calming down and I feel better, you know, and I have had some time to reflect on the entire situation. And, you know, and I'm gonna try not to cry because y'all know that I am very sensitive, even though I am a fucking gangster for real. Don't clock that. But, you know, a few months ago, not even a few months ago, when was this? I think this was the end of last school year. You know, the family member that I was talking about in that TikTok, my previous TikTok, invited me to come see you know, her child, get sent off to her prom. And I went, and I went, and then to my surprise, somebody showed up, another family member has showed up that I didn't know was coming, right? So I stayed for a few minutes, and then I was like, hey, I gotta go. I didn't go, they all went to like the venue, like the place. And I was like, you know what, I got pictures and videos, and I think that's good enough. I'm gonna start heading back now. And that was that. The family member told me, I'm like, I thought you said nobody was coming. She was like, oh no, I didn't know he was coming. Whatever, life went on. So here we are today, 2024 Thanksgiving, and we were just talking, oh, what are you doing on Thanksgiving? What are you doing on Thanksgiving? I'm like, well, I'll probably just cook a few pans, because I'm a single mother of one, and that's my family. It's just me and my baby and my cat. And so that's what I normally do. I normally just cook, me and my baby, and we just stay home and just do what we do, But I was like, you know what, maybe I should spend time with family, right? Because I'm the family member that has distanced herself from everyone, but I was still only connected with this one family member because I just felt like, she calls and she checks on my kid, and she calls and says happy birthday, and she calls, and you know what I mean? So I was like, I was just trying to keep that same energy, because I'm a Libra. I'm all about keeping that same energy that somebody has given to me. And guess what? The person that I'm talking about, she's a fucking Libra too. Yeah, we're both fucking Libras, but it's like we're total opposites. It's like I'm the good queen, and she's like the evil queen, for real, because it's always something, right? But I'll tell you what I learned. I'll tell you what I learned this year. Most importantly, I am so grateful to God that God has allowed me to be on this earth as many years that I have been. I am so grateful to God that I have a beautiful child, and literally one of the biggest blessings of my life. I don't know where I would be if I wasn't a mother. My cat, I'm very grateful for my cat, because my cat keeps me the fuck calm. She keeps me hysterically laughing like she is her own little character. I'm grateful for my apartment. It's not luxurious, it's not the richest, it's not a fucking mansion, but I'm grateful for it. It keeps me and my family warm and safe, and I can cook, and I keep it clean, and we have clean water, and and shit like that. So I'm very grateful. So now that I said that, what I learned throughout this entire situation is that in order to truly succeed in this life and on your spiritual journey, and I already knew this, right? But because someone was showing me energy, I felt as though I needed to return that same energy back. But, I just learned that although it's your family, and as much as you want to save them, and as much as you want to help them, as much as you want to love them, as much as you wish like all the family members can get together, and I learned tonight that I have to let go, and I can't just let go some of them. I gotta let them all go. Since they all want to stick together in toxicity, then I have to let them all go and let them live a life of toxicity. You will not gaslight me and make me feel as though my feelings are not valid, as though what the fuck I see and feel is not real, and try to lie to my face and say, oh, but I told you, bitch. No, the fuck you didn't. I asked you. I said, who else is gonna be there? When we on the phone talking about it. She's like, oh no,
I got 2 hours before I have to leave. I need y'all's help coming up with a good excuse so I don't have to go over to my parents' house. I'm sorry, y'all. I cannot handle it this year. I'll tell you why. A little bit of context first. I'm one of 5 of the grown children that is coming over for Thanksgiving dinner. I have 3 of the 4 grandchildren, and this is the welcoming message I get from my mother in our family chat. Y'all ready? Dearest family, happy holiday week. We are looking forward to hosting Thanksgiving Day with you all. Pray for safe travel as Beep and Beep drive today. We are excited to offer a refreshed, in quotation mark, home to enjoy some new paint, all new hardwood floors, no scratches, and new family room furniture. We are kindly asking for no food or drinks in the family room. Little children will be asked to sit and eat at the tables. There will be handy wet wipes for busy little hands, just like it was for all of you little ones. Who remembers eating spaghetti wearing a paint shirt? We hope you share our enjoyment, blah, 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 blah. Like, already, just reading that message, I'm drained. Instead of this being a relaxing evening where the parents can sit back and relax and let the grandkids spend time with the grandparents, no, I will be chasing them around with wet wipes to make sure that they don't have anything on their fingers, which I have a 1-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 7-year-old, so they don't smudge anything or do anything. Am I overreacting? Let the fun begin.
You guys said the worst thing that could happen is they could bring up the election. You said on Thanksgiving, the worst thing that could happen is your family could bring up the election. My dad just made me test over 200 Christmas lights by pulling out the bulbs on each one of them, testing it, and then sticking it back in. And once I'd found all the bad bulbs, every single one of them, I was like, what do I do with this? And he was like, it's a spare set. We don't even need it. I'm not going to say it's worse. I'm not going to say it's worse, but I would rather sit down and talk about whatever else you want to talk about. He was like, I was like, well, why'd you make me do this? And he was like, isn't this what you do at work? And I was like, no, dude, I'm a product designer. And he was like, that's not a real job.
It's honestly heartbreaking how Thanksgiving, a holiday meant to bring families together, can often turn into a reminder of how fractured family relationship can be. We idealize it as a time of gratitude and connection, but for many, it's just stress, tension, and unmet expectations. Some families struggle with deep-rooted issues like siblings rivalries, unresolved grudge, or generational conflict that comes to the surface when everyone is forced to sit around the same table. Add in the pressure to create the perfect meal or host the perfect gathering, and it's a recipe for disaster. The reality is, not every family gets along. For some, Thanksgiving isn't about celebrating unity. It's about surviving the day without a blow-up. Then, there is this dynamic of different personalities and values clashing. One person might try to keep things light, while another brings up politics or sensitive family history. Arguments that overshadow the holiday spirit, or maybe someone drinks too much and the day spirals from there. Some people leave feeling worsened than when they came, regretting they even showed up. On top of that, there are unspoken expectations. Parents expect their kids to act a certain way. Siblings feel pressure to rekindle old bonds, and everyone's trying to hold it together for appearance. When reality doesn't meet these expectations, it leads to disappointment, resentment, or both. And let's not forget those who carry the brunt of the workload, usually the host. Instead of enjoying the day, they are stuck cooking, cleaning, and managing everyone's needs, often without much appreciation. The effort put into creating a perfect Thanksgiving can feel completely wasted if it ends in drama or tension. I think it's important to acknowledge that not every family holiday will look like a Hallmark movie. Maybe the key to avoiding failed Thanksgiving is adjusting expectations, setting boundaries, and focusing on smaller, genuine moments of gratitude, like connecting with just one family or enjoying a quiet meal instead of a chaotic gathering. It's okay to redefine what Thanksgiving means for you, especially if the traditional family dinner just doesn't work. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do is step back and create your own version of the holiday. Adding to this, Another thing about faith Thanksgiving is how easily the pressure of tradition can turn into an emotional minefield. For some, it's not just about the present day drama but also the weight of past experience. A Thanksgiving where everything went wrong years ago can set the tone for all future gatherings. It creates this cycle where people approach the holiday with dread, already expecting the worst, which can become a self-fulfilling prophecy. There is also the fact that family dynamics often change over time, and Thanksgiving can be a painful reminder of those shifts. For instance, when a loved one passes away, their absence at the table can be gathering. Suddenly, the holiday becomes less about celebration and more about mourning what used to be. Divorcee, estrangement, or even just people growing apart can leave empty chairs and emotional voids that are hard to ignore. For blended families or those trying to navigate new dynamics, Thanksgiving can feel less like time to bond and more like a balancing act where nobody ends up happy. Let's not forget the unspoken competition and judgment that can come into play. Someone's turkey is too dry, another person's side dish gets mocked, and before you know it, the atmosphere is thick with massive aggressive remarks. It's ironic how a holiday centered around gratitude can bring out so much negativity. For some people, it's not just about enduring argument but also battling feelings of inadequacy, comparison, and even loneliness, especially if they are single, childless, or living a life that doesn't match their family's expectation. And speaking of loneliness, fair Thanksgiving hasn't always about bad gatherings. Sometimes it's about having no gathering at all. Some people are estranged from their families or live too far away to travel, and social media doesn't make it any easier. Seeing everyone else picture perfect dinners can amplify feelings of isolation, even those photos doesn't tell the full story. At the heart of it all, I think a lot of things comes down to miscommunication and mismatched priority. Some people want the holiday to be about deep conversation and emotional recognitions, while others just want to eat, relax, and watch football. When these expectations collide, the result is disappointment or worse, full-on conflict. Maybe the biggest lesson from fair Thanksgiving is the need to let go of perfection and embrace authenticity. It's okay if things hasn't pictured perfect. Maybe it's a messy kitchen, a smaller guest list, or even choosing to spend the day alone with friends instead of family. At the end of the day, Thanksgiving is supposed to be about gratitude. However, that looks for each individuals. Another layer to failed Thanksgiving is how cultural or generational difference can make the holiday even more complicated. In multicultural families, there might be a clash between traditional American Thanksgiving expectation and the costumes of or value of another culture. For instance, someone might want to incorporate dishes or traditions from their heritage, while others expect the classic Thanksgiving spread. This can create tension or make some family members feel excluded. Traditional gaps also play a role. What one generation sees as fun or meaningful, another might see as outdated or irrelevant. Older relatives might want to focus on traditions, while younger ones might prefer a more casual, model approach. This difference can make the holiday feel like a battleground of old versus new. Another factor that often gets overlooked is the emotional toll of the holiday for people struggling with personal issues. Whether it's financial difficulties, mental health struggles, or just feeling overwhelmed, Thanksgivings can amplify those feelings. For someone who's barely making ends meet, the idea of hosting or even bringing a dish can feel like an impossible burden. And for those dealing with anxiety or depression, being around a lot of people, especially in a high pressure settings like Thanksgiving, can be draining or even unbearable. What makes it worse is the expectation to put on a happy face. Thanksgiving almost demands that you be cheerful and grateful, no matter what is going on in your life. For people who are struggling, this force positively can feel isolated, as if their struggles are being minimized or ignored. It's hard to feel thankful, and when you are dealing with real hardship, and the holiday can unintentionally make those struggles feel even more pronounced. There is also the issue of fairness when it comes to diving time and responsibilities. In families with multiple branches, like in-laws or divorced parents, it can feel like an impossible juggling act to make everyone happy. Some people end up traveling between multiple homes on Thanksgiving Day, leaving them exhausted and unable to enjoy any part of the holiday. Others feel resentful if they are always the ones hosting, while other family members show up empty-handed and expect to be catered to. Over time, these patterns can breed resentment, making each Thanksgiving more strained than the last. Let's not forget the emotional labor that often falls disproportionately on one person, usually the host. Planning, shopping, cooking, cleaning is a monumental task, and when the effort isn't acknowledged, it can lead to feelings of being taken for granted. In some cases, the host might even start to feel bitter about the holiday altogether, wondering why they are putting in so much effort for a gathering that leaves them stressed and unhappy. Ultimately, failed Thanksgiving highlights a universal truth: families are complicated. There is no such thing as a perfect family or perfect holiday. The key might be shifting focus from perfection to authenticity, setting boundaries and redefining what the holiday means. Whether that means skipping the big gatherings, starting new traditions, or finding joy in something small, it's okay to rewrite the Thanksgiving narrative to fit what works for you. Not every family is built for the Norman Rockwell version of the holiday, and that is okay. Another thing that contributes to failed Thanksgiving is how unresolved trauma or sensitive family dynamics can bubble to the surface. Holidays have a way of forcing people into close quarters, sometimes with relatives they are actively tried to avoid all year. Old wounds resurface, especially in families where issues like favorism, neglect, or abuse were never addressed. Thanksgiving becomes less about gratitude and more about tiptoeing around emotional landmines, which can leave everyone feeling on edge. For some, it's a day where they are forced to confront relationships they have outgrown or connections that no longer feel healthy. Another challenge is the spotlight on perfection. Social media doesn't help, with everyone posting photos of beautifully set tables, smiling faces, and abundant food. It sets their unrealistic expectation that Thanksgiving should look like a Pinterest board come to life. When reality falls short: burned dishes, messy kitchens, awkward silence, it can feel like you have someone failed the holiday. This pressure to perform, to have the perfect Thanksgiving, can strip away the joy and replace it with stress. Food, while central to Thanksgiving, can also become a source of tension. Dietary restrictions, picky eaters, or different tastes can lead to frustration. Imagine spending hours preparing a feast only to hear complaints about what is on the table, or worse, someone refusing to eat altogether. Food can also be a trigger for deeper issues such as body image concern or eating disorders, which are rarely discussed openly but can silently add to the discomfort. Financial stress is another silent killer of Thanksgiving cheer. Not everyone can afford the elaborate meals or travel expenses the holiday often demands, and those financial pressures can be humiliating when unspoken. Some family members might feel embarrassed for not contributing as much, while others might resent carrying the financial burden year after year. This dynamic can quietly erode relationships over time. Another overlooked aspect is the unrealistic expectation that Thanksgiving will magically fix a fractured family. Some people go into the holiday hoping it will be the moment when everyone gets along, past griefness are forgiven, and bonds are mended. When that doesn't happen, when the same argument resurfaces or the same cold silence lingered, it can feel like a deep personal failure, even though family relationships are rarely healed in a single day. For some, the holiday is exhausting simply because of the constant emotional labor involved, trying to play peacemaker between flooding relatives, diffusing political debates, or making sure everyone feels included can be utterly draining, and when the effort isn't reciprocated or acknowledged, it's easy to feel unappreciated and burnt out. Finally, let's talk about how the holiday can highlight inequalities within a family. For instance, one sibling might still be the golden child, while another is treated like an outsider, even as an adult. This pattern doesn't just appear because it's Thanksgiving, they often become more glaring. Add alcohol to mix, and people may start saying things they have been holding back all year, leading to confrontations that can spiral out of control. Thanksgiving is supposed to be a day of gratitude, but maybe the real takeaway is recognizing that gratitude isn't always easy to find in a complicated family setting. Sometimes, the best way to salvage the holiday is to let go of outdated traditions, set healthy boundaries, and prioritize your own peace of mind. Thanksgiving doesn't have to be about forcing togetherness. It can also be about creating space for what truly makes you feel thankful, even that means stepping away from the traditional family gathering entirely. One more layer to failed Thanksgivings: how often people feel stuck in roles they have outgrown. Family gatherings tend to bring out the dynamic from when everyone was younger. The responsible one, the white one, the quiet one, even if you have evolved as person. Thanksgiving can pull you back into that box, which can be frustrating and even humiliating. You might feel like your family doesn't see who you are now, only who you were 10 or 20 years ago. This can create an undercurrent of resentment, especially if you have worked hard to grow and change. And let's not ignore the fact that sometimes failed Thanksgiving happen because people feel obligated to attend rather than genuinely wanting to. The pressure to keep the family together often leads people to put themselves in situations that doesn't feel healthy or safe for them. Whether it's tolerating toxic relatives, enduring awkward silence, or working on eggshells, this situation can make Thanksgiving feel less like a celebration and more like a chore. For some, skipping the holiday altogether might be the healthier option, but guilt or family pressure keeps them coming back year after year. Then there is the elephant in the room: the way the holiday history itself can feel problematic. Thanksgiving is rooted in a narrative that oversimplifies and romanticizes colonial history. For many, this context can make the celebration feel hollow or even offensive. Why not every family reflect on this during their meal is another layer of complexity that can make the holiday feel more like an obligation than a joyful gathering. Despite all these challenges, there is also room for hope and change. Failed Thanksgiving doesn't have to defy future ones. They can serve as a wake-up call to races what's truly important and create new traditions that feel more meaningful. For some, that might mean spending the day with choosing family, friends, or feel like family. For others, it could mean simplifying the holiday altogether, focusing on gratitude in small, manageable ways instead of aiming for a grand spectacle. So, Thanksgiving is like family itself. It's complicated. It's a holiday that carries the weight of expectation, traditions, and often unresolved conflicts. But a failed Thanksgiving doesn't have to be the end of the story. It's an opportunity to reflect, reset, and redefine what the holiday means to you. Whether that involves smaller gatherings, new tradition, or even skipping the holiday altogether. The most important thing is to focus on what truly brings peace and gratitude into your life. At its core, Thanksgiving isn't about the turkey or the table setting. It's about finding moments of connection and thankfulness. However imperfect they might be, sometimes the most meaningful thing you can do is let go of the pressure to have a perfect Thanksgiving and embrace one that's real, honest, and authentically yours. Alright, thank you for watching. We really love to hear your thoughts. So please share your opinion. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that notification button for more content like this.